What up, fam? So in this video, I am gonna share with you a few things that happened to me about actually having a contract. How in one case it backfired from me, in another case it actually protected me. Also, I got a bonus video at the end of this where I got a subscriber. He's gonna come up to me and we're gonna converse about some things that he said on my channel. Really nice guy, and also I'm gonna give him a shout out. All right, fam. So let's get into this. What's up, fam? This is Vic from Quick Cutz Premium Lawn Care here in Conyers, Georgia. Of course, I'm hoping you guys are cutting on. You know why? Because I can't cut all this grass by myself. It is enough work out here for us all. Believe that. Still learning from my mistake. So I'm going to start off by telling you how a contract backfired on me. What I've learned is that at certain points of the season, people are willing to sign contracts, and you should put them under a contract because it's nothing like telling a person that you do not service one-time cuts, and then guess what they do? Have you come out, cut their yard, and they fire you the following week. So that backfired on me a few times where I'm going out, I am cutting people yards, and then 2 weeks later they're saying I'm good. So basically what I did for them is to clean up. So I developed a strategy to where I started putting people under contracts sometime mid-June. Let me tell you why it's mid-June. The reason why I did it during mid-June is because a lot of lawn care companies, they already got their schedule. A lot of them not adding new customers on, and it's more difficult to add people to your routes. So what I started doing was I started telling people, hey, I'll give you a price under contract for biweekly services, or I'll give you a price not under contract for biweekly services, but it's going to be extra money. Typically, I charge an additional $5 to be not under contract. That's a strategy you can use, and it's a way of letting people know that you're serious about only wanting to put bi-weekly or weekly customers on your schedule. Don't be fooled about these people who tell you, okay, yeah, I wanted a one-time cut, but since you don't offer that, yeah, come cut my yard, I'll do bi-weekly. It's probably no. Tell them no thank you. Here's the situation. You know I use Google Earth, or should I say Yard Book, to actually do my estimates. Basically, what I did was I made a mistake. I actually traced out the wrong property. Now, after finding out this, it was too late. I've already given the people the price, but I still thought that when I traced it out, it was still kind of close to the other property that I traced out. Here's where the eyeball test really come in at. Well, unbeknownst to me, they had another yard over, and I do mean yard over from their house. Didn't know that when I quoted it because it was really in no man's land, and I just assumed it was the neighbors, but it wasn't. So that's one of the mistakes that I made, and I went ahead and cut the yard, or should I say, my guys went ahead and cut the yard that time. And we figured, hey, we already in the community, so hey, at least we're not driving 5 minutes to another property. 5 minutes costs money, so hey, we'll do it at this price. Well, we cut it the first time, cut it the second time, and we had a little problem cutting it the second time. What I mean by that is that this particular property has a valley. Anything you know about valleys, a lot of the rain runs into your valley, and it's always the biggest headache to deal with. More grass in lower areas because that's where the water settles. So when we cut it, we had to cut it high. I mean, it's maintenance. Anything cut into the ground or into the grass where you're getting a lot of clippings, that's a cleanup. So we didn't do a good job expressing that. that's on me. So anyway, the third time I personally cut it. And I personally, they had called me and said, "Hey, we really want you to go down about 2 inches. 2 inches. I'll tell you about it in a second." I was saying to them, "Well, I might not be able to because at this point in time, you don't want to cut into your grass because if you get too low, it's considered burning your or burning out your grass, especially when it gets 90 plus degrees down here." What I decided to do when I got there, I saw it, I cut into it a little bit. I saw it was still green. So I started cutting it, and I knew I was gonna get a lot of clippings, which I did. And they have this ridiculous slope on the side of their house. Now I'm getting to how my contract backfired on me. So I cut everything, man. Make a long story short, I spent about an hour in that yard. Now, I should have charged them $150 because that was a cleanup. I only got $55 for that service. Now, I called them up and I explained to them that I was going to let them go. I was going to let them go and the customer that I was cutting as well. I was going to let both clients go. There was two houses side by side. And I know what you're saying, Vic. Man, two side by side, you had to make some money. No, man, I was not making. I was probably making $10, $15 after paying my guys and the gas and whatever else I eat up out there. And I was like, I was just willing to walk away from it. So the first thing I did was I called one customer that was a customer for over a year. I called them and they're not under contract. And I said to him, "Hey, I just wanted to call you. I know it's in the middle of the season, so I don't want to, put you in a bad situation. But we realized that we're going to have to discontinue services, and I wanted to let you know early enough so you can find someone else suitable to cut your yard." Now, by the way, I had just cut their yard the day before I gave them a call, and I did a great job. I did a killer job. I know I did. And I said, in order for us to keep you, we'll have to charge you $85. I know that's going up a bit, and the person said, "Okay, we'll pay it." And I stuttered in the middle. She said, "We'll pay it." I said, "Oh, okay, thank you." And right then and there, I was like, "Wow, I really appreciate that they understand that the difficulty of their yard, and it is difficult. But I don't want to just walk away from a client in the middle of the season. Now, I don't think I'm gonna raise their prices next year either because I kind of put my foot in it. I thought they were gonna say no, but they was like, "No, go ahead, cut it." And I was like, "Okay, so I'm gonna do it." Now, the one next door, I had them under contract. So I called them, gave them the same spiel. "Hey, just want to thank you for the opportunity. However, your yard is really difficult. We're required to put more time in it. You know." And the guy said, "Hey, are you not going to honor your contract? Your contract said that it's $55." And I was like, "Wow, he is right." And I said, "Hold on a minute, let me look," because not everybody under contract now. So I said, "Let me look," before I said yes to it. So I read it, and yes, I'm under a contract. I had him under contract, so we are under contract. And I said, "Yes, I will honor it." And he said, "Well, and at the end of the year, what we'll do is we will renegotiate what you think the price should be, which it should be $75. I'm charging 55. It's definitely a $20 difference." But I also learned something in the midst of it too. I learned that I told him, I said, "What you receive," and I know this. I said, "What you received really was a cleanup for your yard. I did a cleanup for you. You didn't start at the beginning of the year with us, so you didn't get your initial cleanup. Your initial cleanups are in March. I'm cleaning that yard up because it's dormant and it's really not growing. So I should be cutting your yard down to where it's manageable when the actual cut season comes around." And when I mean cut season, I'm talking about when it's growing and it's growing real fast in June, July, August, and September. That grass is shooting out, especially now that we're getting a lot of rain. If you need me to cut the yard down, other than maintenance is less than an inch. It's less than an inch. You don't anything more than an inch. That's not maintenance anymore. You're doing a cleanup. So I said to him, "If you want me to cut it down, I'm gonna have to consider that a cleanup, and charge you for the cleanup. And he said he definitely understood that. And he also said, well, you can cut it down. He said, I'll get rid of the clippings if you leave clippings. He doesn't understand that the clippings is really hard to get rid of if you don't have commercial grade stuff. You literally have to have the commercial grade stuff. And he was saying that, he used to push mow it and everything, which is fine. But I have a commercial grade mower, and it was, spitting out all those chunks. And but he said he understood. So this is what I did. I went back and revised my estimate, which stated that we're only doing lawn maintenance. Lawn maintenance is servicing your yard where I'm only cutting no more than an inch off of your grass. No more. Some people probably not wanting to cut no more than a half, but no more than an inch. Anything beyond that point, it's a cleanup. It is a cleanup for me. So I put that in my estimate now. And also I put in other areas that's not included in what we call lawn maintenance. So here's my point to you. You need to have that stuff written up. You really do. Talking to people and telling them stuff over the phone, it's going to be a lot of miscommunication. So I do use Yard Book. I stand by Yard Book. I do send out estimates. And now, when I send out an estimate, they must approve it. They must approve it because if you're under contract for me and you cancel at any time, I charge 35% on whatever is remaining on the contract. Now, I had someone, I'm transitioning now. I had another person where the contract didn't backfire on me. It actually protected me. So I cut their yard, and it was one of what I consider emergency cut. Emergency cut is basically when I come out same day or next day, and I'm not in your area. Now, if I'm in your area, I wouldn't consider that emergency cut. But if I'm coming out of the area to come service you, that is obviously me looking out, and it's emergency cut. Two things that I have started doing at this point. Number one, I let them know, hey, if you're off schedule, that means that I cut it today or tomorrow, and your service is next week on a certain day, I come out and cut it again. That's my way of, making up of that emergency, me coming out of route. Some people, well, I don't even say everyone this year has said yes. Everyone this year said yes. People in the past have said no, but everyone this year has said yes. We'll do it. Now, sometime I may reduce it by half price. If you're a $40 yard, I'll reduce it by half because that means it's not that big. If you're a $65 cut, you got a big yard for me. I'm gonna spend some time in it regardless, and I'll save you $15. It'll be like a $50 cut for you. So I have this idea of what it is that I am trying to accomplish by going the next day or the same day to cut somebody's yard who's out of route. Because I'm asking this from my guys. So basically, this client, I did the emergency cut, came out the next following day, and they loved the work. We put the work in, and she had some problems with her other lawn provider, and she said all the issues that she had. So we did the hand and glove thing to make sure it was right, and we did. She loved it. Would you believe? Less than a week later, she sends a text message saying, "Hey, I found my cousin or somebody. He's gonna do it for cheaper. He got a mower." And I'm saying to myself, that was your problem in the first place. You had somebody who is not a professional cut your yard, and then we came out on an emergency cut and straightened that stuff up for you. Now you want to, X us. So I went to see if she was under contract, and she was. So I called her up and I let her know, "Hey, we're under contract. Now, I'm not in the business of trying to force someone to take services from me when they don't want to." I said, but it's a 35% on the remaining of your service. And she has services up until the first week in November. Now, I didn't want to force the lady because she said, "Well, I didn't read it, and you told me to approve." I'm like, It's in writing. You know, I'm not gonna argue with you about what I said because I know I said it. I know I said it, but I don't need to say that because it's in writing. You know, I send it to you in writing. Please take a look at what's in writing. So I said, hey, I tell you what, just give me $100 to cancel your contract. Just give me $100, and it was way more than $100, you know, for cancellation. But I accepted $100, and I sent it to her in an invoice. Hey, to cancel your contract, it will be $100. You know, so whenever I receive the payment, it's canceled. So that's kind of like what I'm sharing with you, how to try to think of ways of, I guess, not getting hooked and bamboozled by clients, and sometimes also keeping yourself in check to make sure you're not trying to bamboozle your clients.
What's up, fam? This is Vic from Cutz. I got one of my subscribers out here. One of the things he told me that when he does his edging on the, he said he have his edger on his shoulder. So
I can show you if you want.
Hey man, go get it. All right, tell us what about your lawn care?
I'm full lawn care service located in Conyers, Georgia. My phone number is 678-670-9720. So holler at me for any of your lawn care needs.
All right, 678
670
670
9720.
9720. Holler at him. He's a professional. All right, because you know why? Can't cut all this grass by myself. All right, fam, you saw it exclusively here first that he can stick edge with the doggone thing on his shoulder. I ain't never seen it before. I just saw it, and he told me he could do it. He came out, he saw me, and he proved it. Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
All right, cut on, lawn care family, cut on. We cutting out.